What's up, YouTube? This is Strident, and I'm excited. My son and I just came back from Walmart, and we just completed the DC Universe Green Lantern Classic STEL WAVE. Yes, the whole reason why I even picked up any of these figures was because I was super interested in STEL. That figure is ridiculous. So, I'm going to get these characters ready, and we're going to go through them one by one, and I'm going to show you what makes them so dope. So stay tuned. Okay, first off, I'm going to start off with Not Killoy and Medfill. Their design, I mean, it's kind of simple. Not has the kind of Abe Sapien thing going, even though he probably predates Abe Sapien by at least 10 years or something. But he's got the whole fishbowl astronaut mask. He is a not reptilian but amphibian-looking character. He looks almost like a fish man. The Horseman knocked it out of the park with him. I mean, I'm not a huge Green Lantern fan. Ask anyone who knows me. I think he's one of the biggest MacGuffin-type characters in the history of comics. Well, his power is. And for that, it makes it kind of a little bit too easy for his stories to, like, you know, for him to just jump, a Green Lantern to just jump into battle. But even with that being said, these characters have some good details that make these characters interesting even to people like me who aren't big Green Lantern fans. I mean, I got a little team of Green Lanterns. I think the whole time in my collecting DC figures, I've had 2 Green Lanterns. I had Parallax from the Total Justice line. Actually, both were from Total Justice. I had Parallax and I had Kyle Rayner. So anyway, Knot and Medfill. Knot's head is the better head of the two because he just looks a little bit tougher. Medfill's head is awesome. I mean, what they did here is whichever one you pick up, Knot or Medfill, or Phil as we like to call him, you can swap out the heads. They did the same thing on the Red Lantern Skalax or Nightlake, depending on which one you find. You can switch out the head and the hands, and you have a different figure. With Medfill and Knot, it's just the heads. You get more pieces if you switch on the Knot head because he's got the fish bowl astronaut helmet and the little, like, I don't know, the neck piece to hold the helmet on. And Medfill is just a weird tree head with one eye. It's kind of freaky looking, but it's cool. I mean, I like the alien characters in Green Lantern. I don't like the human characters so much. Of all the humans, like I said, I like Kyle and I like John Stewart. John Stewart's the fucking man. And not just because he's black, it's because he's the original Lantern who can make technological constructs that work. You know, his mind is that methodical and that tactical and that OCD that he can do that kind of stuff, and I like it. That's why I'm not feeling Hal Jordan, because in the last like 10 years they've tried to revamp Hal Jordan to do everything that all the other interesting Lanterns do, and that's kind of lame. Anyway, Knot and Medfill, awesome designs, and articulation is standard. There's nothing new, nothing special, nothing hidden about their joints. That he's perfect. My only issue with this figure as far as the sculpt and everything is that they pose them in the blister card. And a lot of times if you leave a toy posed in a blister card from its creation to me opening it, you end up with a warped figure. Now I have I think 3 of the 6 figures in this line, or the 9 figures in the line, have the warping, which pissed me off greatly, but you know, it's not enough to take away from the joy of these awesome sculpts and these awesome characters. So they're each gonna get like a 8 out of 10, you know, for you know, Medfill and Knot. Next up is, let's see, Gahoo. Gahoo is actually a character from the Green Lantern movie, the upcoming Green Lantern movie. So, and I dug this design. It's really insect-like, and his articulation is strange, but it kind of works for the type of figure he is. I mean, He looks fairly agile. He's nice and lanky. He stands really well because he's got the tripod feet. And there's not much else to say. That's just an awesome figure with lots and lots of detail in it. He's definitely, to me, that's a 9 out of 10 right there. My only gripe is that he can't point the hand with the ring at you, top of the hand facing outward. Instead, he has kind of like a handshake type pose that his hands go out in. But, you know, c'est la vie, you know. It's a nice figure, though. Very, very nice figure. Definite 9 out of 10. The design is awesome. Sculpt is awesome. Paint job is awesome. I have no issues with him. Pick him up if you see him.
And it's pretty strange too, because there's so many little details on this figure that just make him stand up. I mean, look at his legs. They're so alien, you know, insect-like, which is, it's familiar to us because we have insects on our planet, but it's so alien just the way all the pieces are put together. And, you know, I gotta stress the fact that design-wise, this character works. The design doesn't seem too generic. I mean, in comparison to Medfill and Not, those designs are fairly generic in the sense that all they did was take a Green Lantern human body, change up the feet, and come up with strange heads. Whereas this, from head to toe, it's a completely alien design. So I gotta give them their props. It's pretty awesome stuff. You know, like I said, a definite 9 out of 10. I mean, I can only imagine the kind of stuff this guy would do in battle, not even considering the fact that he has a Green Lantern ring. So props to the horse. Next up, we've got Sodam-Yat. Sodam-Yat is the Daxamite Green Lantern. Daxamites are similar to Kryptonians. Now, I didn't really know too much about him, except my brother and I came across a bunch of comics that had him in there, and his another fellow artist on DeviantArt was the person responsible for the art in those books. So, you know, I kind of had an idea of who he was. He's like a prophesized great Green Lantern. This design it's really simple. It reminds me a lot of Kyle Rayner. I like how his hair kind of feels like fire. I like the change with his Green Lantern symbol. It's pretty nice. There's really not too much to say. His posability is standard, and I mean, I really have to continuously give the Horseman props. The posability is just nice. I mean, look at that. It almost makes me want to go back and get some of the figures that I have DC Direct versions of in the DC Universe Classics mode. If it wasn't for my need for individuality amongst all these action figures, I would probably do that, especially with my John Stewart. I have the Ed McGuinness John Stewart figure. He's a little light-skinned and, you know, not very posable, but, you know, all that aside, this figure is pretty nice, you know, and considering I got him specifically because I wanted to get STEL, bonus. So, you know, I give him another 8 out of 10. Awesome figure. Next up, we have Bedig and Dexstar and Despotelis, or Despotelis. It's kind of strange. When I first saw Bedig, I thought he was Chip, who's like a squirrel-like Green Lantern. I didn't really know about him. But it's a pretty sick figure in the sense that he's so small, yet there's so much character here. You can see they even put the detail in his ring, so you can tell it apart from the rest of him. He's got his little gut, and, you know, this is a pretty interesting design. I dig the fact that he has the tail that helps, you know, stand him up. It's almost like a tripod sort of effect, even though he has ginormous feet. But, you know, once again, it's familiar because he's an animal, but it's alien. They didn't do too much alienness to him, except for the fact that there's a little bit of anthropomorphic details there. But as far as, like, you know, his musculature and things like that. But I mean, his head swivels, or ball joint, I'm sorry for his head, and all the other joints are just plain swivels. So he's got what, 6 points of articulation. The tail can move around all over the place. It's on a swivel as well. It's a nice figure. It kind of adds to the much needed difference in scale amongst the Green Lantern classics. The cool thing is that him and Dexstar and Despotilus, they come together. So, you kind of get a bonus here with, the three of them in one pack. And now we got Dexstar. Dexstar cracked me up because I didn't read much of the War of Light. And what I did read, I didn't know some of these characters existed. So seeing a cat with a red lantern ring around his tail, I was like, wow. I mean, it's only fitting considering that the Green Lanterns have all kinds of animals, from dogs to squirrels and all that, but it's just a hilarious design. And with cats being all the rage on the interwebs, it's kind of funny that they made an evil cat, and I mean, every ounce of him just screams evil. I mean, I don't know, this is one of those things. The perfect compliment to Badig. He's just, yeah, an evil Red Lantern cat. What else is there to say? Same articulation as Badig, except his head does not really, it's on a ball joint, but it doesn't move as well as Badig's head. But yeah, fun little figure. And like I said, he was included in the pack with Badig and Despotilus, and I think that's kind of cool. I hope I'm saying his name right. Despotilus or Despotilus. There's a lot of detail anyway in this figure for such a small figure. They didn't spare any expense as far as sculpting goes. And he comes with that red blood spray accessory put in his mouth, and it looks like he's spraying that evil Red Lantern blood at people. And I think it's an awesome effect, awesome little piece. And I don't know, if you see this group, pick them up. If you want to create STEL, pick them up. I think they came with STEL's torso. And Despotilus, there's not really much to say. Or Despotilus, I hope I'm saying it right. I've never heard them say the name, so I don't know. He's kind of straightforward. No articulation. He's just a creepy little design, and that's it. If I saw this running around somewhere, I would fucking shit myself. And it sounds like he's pretty badass too, because they say he destroys planets and stuff. But whatever. Carol Ferris, Star Sapphire. I didn't know that there were supposed to be many of these chicks, so all of a sudden there's a lot of them. They're like a whole nother core. I was like, okay. But screw all that. The figure it's a decent figure. It's one of the better female figures. I wish what they did with the legs being on ball socket joints, I wish they did that with Black Canary, seeing as she's a martial arts expert. But anyway, I had issues with the face. Her eyes seem strange when you look at her from other angles. She's almost like she's got a lazy eye or something. But details they fail to disappoint us with the details. I mean, you can see, look at how small the ring is, and you can see every little detail. So props to the Four Horsemen. I mean, no one really does it better. They seem to have this action figure game on lock right now, and finally letting us get the figures that we've deserved with the details that we've been wanting. Next we have Scalax and Nightlick, which is the alternate set of hands and the alternate head that comes with Scalax, if this is who you get, and it's vice versa if you get Nightlick. This figure is just evil looking, and I like that, because you need something like this to be a nemesis to, or an evil an evil to combat the Green Lanterns and the Blue Lanterns, and the various good lanterns. But this sculpt is pretty nice. I mean, his head's kind of huge, but I mean, he's alien, so they can kind of get away with this stuff. it's one of those things that I'm wondering about when it comes to the Green Lantern characters, is that, you know, how do they cram all this alien craziness into, you know, one book? But, you know, if ever there was a book that could use it, this is that book. So I don't know. The Red Lantern costumes are pretty nice. You can see there's little things they've done differently, but I have to say at times, if depending on the artist, I've seen these kind of conventions with the Green Lanterns. Those boots are pretty cool looking. Kind of remind me of the pullovers that wrestlers wear and some kickboxers do over their shin guards. They've got those cool wrist guards. I like them. Like, they kind of remind me of the way I draw Superman's wrist guards. Well, his sleeves, I should say. They have these little, like, half belts on the sides of the costume, and those are pretty cool too. You probably saw him on Dexstar. He had some too. All in all, though, this was actually the first of this wave that I picked up. You know, I saw him and I kept looking at it and I was like, you know, maybe I should get him because I want to get some more villains. And he was actually an interesting figure. And then I learned that, you know, they did the whole swapping heads and hands gimmick, which seems to be a mainstay with this line. I think it's a lame gimmick because it forces you to buy two of certain figures, but, you know, there's Nightlick. I think he was named after somebody at Mattel, if I'm not mistaken. He's wearing the bones of his fallen enemies, which is kind of creepy. But I mean, look at this dude. This dude is disgusting. And, like, you know, look at that grin. Like, he knows he's ready to fuck you up, and there's not much you can do about it. I just dig the details. The sculpting is phenomenal. It's just, I think his body type should be different. But since I don't know what he really looks like in the comics, because I haven't bothered to look him up, I don't really care. This is an okay figure. I like Scalex's head a little bit better because it looks like it fits on the body. Look at the oversized ring on his ginormous hands or finger or whatever. It's pretty crazy. But this is another one, definite as far as details go, and the fact that it's two figures in one. I'd definitely give this one 8 out of, maybe 8.5 out of 10. I mean, you really can't complain, you know? And the oversized head and hands make him a little taller, so it plays with the scale thing. I mean, look at that. If I woke up and that was staring at me, whew, turds all in the bed. That's all I have to say. But anyway, and now for the reason why I even picked up this line at all. STEL. Yes, STEL. STEL is a sentient, techno-organic being. He's the Green Lantern of Sector 3009. I saw this character a couple times since I was a kid, because I've only had like a handful of Green Lantern books or books featuring Green Lantern. And I always was like, that's kind of cool to have a techno-organic Green Lantern. And the Four Horsemen did him justice. I mean, look at all the details on this guy. I mean, this looks even better than what he looked like in books that I remember. I went back and I looked them up. The ring is detailed properly. I mean, he just looks like a force to be reckoned with. And what's awesome is that I wasn't able to get Kilowog. And Kilowog was my favorite of the Green Lantern designs, next to STEL. And this guy replaced Kilowog in the Corps as the drill sergeant. So it's kind of cool to turn around and get him, so I have a small Green Lantern team. And I forgot to mention, he's a pretty massive figure. So far, of all the Collect and Connect figures that I bought, or that I have, he is the biggest. And his posability didn't disappear because of this. There you can see him in comparison to everything up to the Marvel Legends Collect and Connect Sentinel. The Sentinel is a massive figure. I'm surprised that it was able to come in, what, 6 or 7 boxes, but here he is compared to the other Collect and Connect figures that I have. You can see Atom Smasher is almost finished. I get his arm sometime next week. But, I mean, STEL is just massive. Freaking massive. I don't know what else to say about STEL besides I've been playing with this figure all day since I put him together. I've just been staring at it. It's just detail out the anus. I mean, this dude it's crazy. And if you look closely on his wrists, you can see that he has not only the ball socket hinge, he also has a swivel hinge so that you can, do more things with his fist, which is awesome. I mean, he's a huge figure. Why not take advantage of that size and utilize the excuse me, I guess it's getting late. It is like 2:28 right now. But anyway, they're utilizing that size and adding in joints that you don't normally see on every figure. So yeah, I hope you guys dug my review. This line is pretty stellar. I think it's definitely worth picking up if you're into the Green Lantern. And if you're not into the Green Lantern, it's a kind of a nice jumping on point. I am going to be reviewing the DC Universe Classics Spectre figure. I found the variant that glows in the dark, so that'll probably be the next one I review sometime soon. And I don't know, hope you dug this, and more reviews on the way. So stay tuned, people. Thanks for checking me out. And remember, also check out my website, www.lordnephilim.deviantart.com. All right, people. I will talk to you later. Peace.